What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we have something that a lot of people have been looking forward to, which is the upcoming support Sugo-Fest. Now, a lot of people, especially when they first came out, the support Sugo-Fest were typically Sugo-Fest you never really wanted to touch, but, you know, shout out to Bandai for making these support units more viable and definitely more desirable for players. So in today's video, we're going to break this down, go through all the new units, and discuss whether or not it's worth pulling. Now, at the moment, we cannot see what other characters are going to be rate boosted. Because it is a Sugo-Fest, there's likely going to be only 10 pullable legends. We don't know what legends are going to be pullable, but we can make a couple of assumptions depending on what type of units are actually going to be on here, right? So let's just do that, right? And just to let you guys know that this banner is going to be debuting on April 14th at 1900 PST time, and you can see that on the event period it lasts for 30 days, so it's going to be lasting for an entire month, so it's going to be here for a really long time for you to get just a chance at pulling some of these units here. So I guess without further ado, let's jump into the steps of this Sugo-Fest. You can already see the first multi right there. The last poster is guaranteed to be a support Red Recruit character, and it's only 30 rainbow gems. Now this can include any different support Red Recruit in the game, either the new ones or also the ones that have already previously existed, like support Sabo, Brule, Sengoku, Carrot, Suru is a really nice one, really kind of niche. There's a lot of really good support rare recruits that, you know, these are the only places to get them, or if we ever get those really rare tickets in during event periods, those are the only times you can get them, right? So this is going to be a good opportunity for players to potentially pull some of those really niche support units. Now, are those units needed for content? Well, not really, but they definitely help you with team building certain teams and in getting through content. So I guess let's just jump into it, right? Let's go ahead and have a look. So the first multis we've already established. The last post is guaranteed to be a support rare recruit, and it's 30 rainbow gems. The second multi, you're guaranteed to get one of the new characters. So on the banner there, you've got Shutenmaru, Moria, you've got Caesar Clown, and also you've got Daifuku, all of which are actually pretty decent supports. Then nothing on the third multi, but the fourth one is a 1-gem multi. Then you've got the sixth multi, so nothing on the fifth, but then the sixth is also a guaranteed new unit. Then you got nothing on the seventh, but you got a 1-gem multi on the eighth. Nothing on the 9th, but then you got a new character on 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So you got 5 multis in a row, which guarantees you one of the new characters. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe on Japan, when this banner came out, I believe after like the 10th multi, so instead of it saying like new character over and over again, it was like guaranteed Shutenmaru, then Moria, then Caesar, then Daifuku. Like, it was guaranteed one after the other. So like, if you did go that deep on a banner, which I don't know why you would for these units, but if you did, you're like legit guaranteed to walk away with all of the new units. But they're not doing that this time around, so I don't know why they're doing that. As I guess you could almost consider it as a shaft, but at the same time, I don't know why you'd be doing 15 or 14 multis on this banner in the first place. It's not really worth that. But yeah, it's an interesting step up. I mean, look, I think personally, if you have the 30 gems to spare, it's not a terrible idea to do it. But for a vast majority of players, if you're free to play and stuff like that, no, you should probably avoid this banner. But like, if you're one of those people that likes to spend money on the game, like if you're missing some of these support rare recruits, 30 gems for a guaranteed one, and you could potentially get one between in the middle of the multi, right? In the first 10 units, you could still potentially get one there as well. But you're guaranteed to get one at the end. And then if you are feeling a little bit funky, you could go and try and get one of the new characters on multi number 2. Myself personally, I'm definitely going to be doing 2 multis on this banner because these support units are really cool. So now that we've talked about that, I want to go ahead and just discuss these units in general, because these support units are quite incredible. So we're definitely going to be starting from like the weakest and moving up to the strongest. So there's 2 units that are very similar to each other here, and the first one here is this Shutenmaru. Now remember that these support units are not meant to be used as units on your team, only as support units. So even though their effects may seem underwhelming, you got to read their support effects, right? So like the captain effect is just bad. Their special ability, you know, randomly changes slots unless if they're matching and gives you a 1.5 orb boost. So obviously not very desirable, but the support effect attaches to a strength unit that is also a powerhouse unit. So it's a little bit niche where you have to be a strength and a powerhouse unit, but there's plenty of those. New Legend Kaido, for example, the Versus Kaido is a strength powerhouse unit, so you can attach it to him, for example. And the effect says that when you launch a special, it's going to boost that supported character's base attack by 1.3 times until you reach the next battle, so the next stage. So whilst you're on that stage, when you use that special, that unit gets 1.3 base attack boost. Now, base attack boost is a bit different from a regular attack boost. You know, if a character has 1,000 attack and you're giving them a 1.3 base attack boost, they now become a 1,300 attack unit. Which actually, when you've got a unit that has over 2,000 attack and you're attaching it to them, this does give you a very substantial damage increase. So don't get it twisted. This is a very, very big boost to any unit that is a strength and a powerhouse unit. So anytime you're using a strength powerhouse unit and you don't really know what support to use, this is going to be a pretty viable unit to get, just because it makes that unit just hit 1.3 times harder than what they would normally, right? It's really, really strong. So that's that, right? Sugo-Fest attaches to a strength powerhouse unit. So he's okay. Definitely not the most desirable of this batch, but still pretty good, right? Now, the next one is Moria, and Moria is very similar to Sugo-Fest, which we just discussed. His effects are also like pretty bland in terms of a unit. Change of slots randomly gives you attack boost, but his support effect attaches to an int unit that is also a driven unit. So there are lots of very, very good units you could attach here. Super type Blackbeard, super type Katakuri, versus Big Mom, for example. Lots of good int driven stuff, and especially later on Japan with the new Blackbeard, you know, there's lots of really, really solid options there too. So this unit support is the exact same, where, you know, when you use the special, that unit gets a 1.3 base attack boost. Unfortunately, it's not really that good for super type Blackbeard, because remember, you have to launch his special multiple times in order for him to get his 4 times boost. It would have been nice if there was like some sort of ability to, you know, decide whether or not you want the support to activate or not. I mean, I think that would be kind of broken in certain circumstances for different supports. But imagine if you're using super type Blackbeard, and then when you have the 4 times attack and orb boost, you can give him a 1.3 base attack boost, and then also activate his super type special, which gives himself an additional 1,000 base attack boost. Would be some crazy, crazy shenanigans if we were able to get that done. But even still, it's still a very good support that can be used on a lot of good units, right? So that's Gecko Moria, pretty nice. Now, the last 2 units in Daifuku and also in Caesar Clown are a bit different. They are not base attack boosting units. These units provide some ridiculously good utility to your team. So you've got Daifuku, who's int powerhouse slasher. Captain effect is bland. Special ability reduces despair by 2 and increased defense by 4. Actually somewhat usable, actually. Now, his support attaches to Big Mom, Katakuri, Cracker, or Smoothie. So it can attach to Sweet Commanders, it can attach to Charlotte Linlin. It's actually really nice, right? Once per quest, if the supported character uses a damage dealing or a % damage special, so actually you cannot attach it to the Sweet Commanders because they don't do damage with their special, unfortunately. But if you do attach it to that unit and they do a damage dealing or health cut special, reduces despair by 2 turns, and it reduces defense up by 4 turns, it makes recovery slots beneficial, and also gives adjacent slots recovery. That's really, really, really good. I mean, the main unit that you would be attaching this to right now would be versus Big Mom, because versus Big Mom does a health cut special, and then you get all these effects activated. You could still attach it to, for example, what's his face? V2 Katakuri, for example, if you needed some type of utility with that. You know, removing despair, defense up, recovery orbs are given to your team, which V2 Katakuri treats as beneficial with his captain effect anyway, but that's still also a really nice effect that you could attach to. I think Smoothie Oven, do they do a damage dealing special? I think they might, so that's also another option. I think Colosseum Smoothie could also be used technically as well. There's a lot of actual units you could be using here, so not a terrible effect at all, but I think mainly versus Big Mom will see the most out of this. Just despair removal and then defense up removal as well is ridiculously useful, so I'm really glad that we have access to a support like this, and definitely a support that I would love to get my hands on, because man, having an ability like that is just invaluable, right? It's so, so nice to have. So that's Daifuku, really, really solid unit. Now, the final unit is Caesar Clown. So Caesar Clown is a strength unit. He is a driven, what? Driven cerebral, okay. Captain effect is bland. Special ability, poisons all enemies and gives you a 1.5 conditional boost against them, which goes in turn with what his support actually does, attaching to Capone, Dofi, Virgo, and Kaido. So a very good array of characters there. And it says, if the character uses a special that is an attack boost or an orb boosting effect, which if we just have a look at the support units, Legend Capone is a fantastic option. Legend Doflamingo, I mean V1 specifically, if you're running a driven-based team to get an orb boost out of that. And just a lot of other Dofis can help you with that too. Virgo is a bit of the weird one though, because like there's not many good Virgos in the game. And then Kaido, obviously versus Kaido is an attack boost when you launch the special. Then, He's going to remove Bind by 2 turns, and then poison all enemies and give you a 1.5 conditional boost against poisoned enemies. So you have a support effect that can give you a conditional boost that self-procs. That is insane. You can use Versus Kaido to give you a 2.25 attack boost, and you get Bind removal, and you also get a 1.5 conditional boost on top of that. So, you know, you could use a friend Captain Kaido to get the orb boost in the next stage. So you have the orb boost, activate your Kaido to get the attack boost and a conditional boost on top of that. You get a slight bit of utility with the Bind removal for 2 turns. That's really, really wicked, dude. This is insane. A really, really welcomed addition to the support squad. I would love to get my hands on this. This is probably the #1 unit out of this batch I would love to get. Just to get free damage against enemies is insane, man. Would love to get my hands on this. Definitely Daifuku and Caesar are the 2 ones that I'm most looking forward to. You know, the stat boosts of Shutenmaru and Moria aren't like super required like for teams. Like, they're really good for Kizuna Clash, for example, giving your team just a bit of extra damage, but not like overly required. But like, these units giving you utility and other really useful effects could definitely see a lot of play, and just it makes teams just easier to clear content. So these are what I'm really looking forward to. So I'm really hoping that, you know, we get some good luck on this Sugo-Fest. As I said, I'm probably going to do 2 multis, hopefully walk away with Caesar and Daifuku in the best case scenario, but even just getting one of those 2 units I'd be very, very happy for. I think definitely Caesar is the best one here because he can attach to the most useful units, and that support effect is just insane. So anyways, that's the wrap up of this support Sugo. I don't suggest anyone be pulling on this, but if you're the type of player that likes to spend 30 gems for a support unit and then the next one after that is a guaranteed new unit, not a terrible option to go for. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.